Hello and welcome to another video. This time the winter has come to Finland. It's freezing, it's snowing, so all the summer cars are inside the garage now, and it's time for the building season. And a few things that I need to do first. For the Mark III Supra, I'm gonna still finish the wiring harness from that from the interior. I'm gonna tidy it to be super clean. I've already done that for quite a while. And then the car, immediately after the intake manifold change, created two issues. One, it doesn't want to start, it just clicks, and when you get to start it, it splits, and sometimes it just dies and doesn't want to start again. But I have already diagnosed what the problem is, so stay tuned. So, problem number one, it doesn't want to start. Turn the ignition on, and yep, this is the life now. So it doesn't want to run, and the noise, the clicking noise, is coming from under the intake manifold. It's the starter motor. But once I got the engine running, like I said, sometimes it dies, and when I was driving it, it kind of sputters and splits. And once I removed this cover and started to jiggle all these wires, I found out that it was the cam position sensors wiring that's been damaged, as you can maybe see. There, I'll try to focus and zoom. You can see that the wiring is damaged, and well, it's not a big deal. I can always change this plug to a new one. But I'll also I thought that I'll make the new wiring for this whole system when I'm at it, because when I did the intake manifold change, I had to extend this wiring a bit, and there are these extensions here. The problem is not in the extensions, I made that very clear and sure, but it's the plug. And I also already have a Deutsch plug here. Sorry for the mess, by the way, but I already have a Deutsch plug. This is a four wire Deutsch plug that I have. That's the female, and that's the male. I'll just make that connecting over there. I'll change the plug to a Deutsch one. It will be forever then when I change it to that one. But another issue is the starting. And once again, sorry for the mess, but here under everything I have a brand new starter motor for the Supra. And now this is with a different kind of relay than the previous one. So I think this will be a bulletproof system for the engine. But there's always a but. To change the starter motor, I have to remove the whole intake manifold. Yep, I tried and I tried to replace the starter motor under there, but it's impossible. It's impossible. I couldn't do it with this intake manifold. I don't know if it's possible to do with the other intake manifold, but at least with this one it's completely impossible to do. So I have to remove the intake manifold, remove the old starter motor, put the new starter motor in. It's gonna be very easy once you get the intake manifold off, but then I have to reassemble the intake manifold. Well, lucky for me, I know exactly how to do it, but it's not still fun to do because it's so much extra work. And then I have to do this wiring for the Supra, I mean for the cam position sensor again, but I'll do that later. Now something a bit more interesting for me, at least. I mean, the Supra is interesting, but the RB20 in this S13 is also interesting. Recently I changed this to these R8 coils. So these are from an Audi R8, I believe. So we in Finland we call them just VAG coils. I changed those, and another thing that I changed was another ECU. So here in the footwell I have an ECU Master Classic. Now, for those of you who don't know what an ECU Master Classic is, it's a completely customized engine control unit. You can do for any engine anything you want, pretty much. So it's completely customized once you just know what you're doing. And you might ask, aren't the what's the chip tuning they talk about? What's the chip tuning that they say that you can do for your car also? Doesn't that bring more power? And yes, it does for some engines. And this one also has an engine control unit that can be chip tuned, and it was already chipped for these elements, these injectors and this turbo and so on. But with an ECU Master, it's just so much more than a regular ECU that you can just chip tune. I mean, it's easier if I just show you. So here we are in the car, and once we start talking about customized ECUs, you pretty much always need a laptop for it. And here I bought a new laptop just for that ECU Master. It has its own software here, which is called ECU Master Emu, like the bird. And I hope you can see something from the screen, because I just installed the camera somehow. Anyway, it's connected, the laptop is connected with a USB cable to the ECU. The car is not on, and you can see that there's nothing here going on. But once I put the ignition on, like so, the computer wakes up. It recognizes the car, and it recognizes what kind of software there's in right now. It sees that it's at 0 RPM. The MAP sensor, I mean the MAP, the intake manifold pressure is at 105 kilopascals at the moment. The throttle position sensor is at 7%. If I press the throttle, it rises to 99. There's all sorts of things here, and like I said, it's completely customized at the moment. You can see everything from here, and you can customize everything. There are outputs you can handle from the ECU. There are a bazillion inputs. You can tell the ECU if you want to handle your oil pressures, if you want to handle your temperatures, how they affect the fueling, how they affect the RPM. And there's boost control here, drive-by-wire, so you can control your throttle plate electronically here. There's traction control that you can build exactly how you want to. There's VVT systems, so that's variable valve timing systems that you can control from here completely. Sport modes and everything, you can insert all sorts of buttons here that control different functions. There's nitrous, you can build it from this system to tell the engine that it has nitrous. It has flex fuel, you can build it around a flex fuel system so that you can pump from the gas station, you can pump ethanol, RE85, and regular gas into your tank, and the car still uses it the most efficient way. Right, so from the laptop you can see many things, and it also has this crazy function called auto-tune, which you basically tell the engine control unit that you're driving the car for a while. You use it on many different loads and all gears and everything. You basically drive along for a while, and the engine control unit learns while you're driving what's the most efficient way to set up your software at that moment, and it makes a suggestion how it would optimize your system. And it's just these things are so advanced, it's just blowing my mind. Anyway, let's put the laptop to side for a while, and I'll show you another cool feature here, which is this one, which is this electronic dash that I made actually for the which is available for this software. So on the ECU over there is a Bluetooth connector, and with the Bluetooth connector you can connect to a tablet, to a phone, to whatever, and it only transfers data from the ECU to the Bluetooth device, so you cannot control from the Bluetooth device the ECU itself. But it's a handy feature, because you can build your own dashboard from a tablet or a phone. And I bought this Samsung tablet especially just to be a dash on this car, and with basic functions from the tablet, I control it as so. When I turn the key on, the tablet recognizes it's getting electronic, what do you call it? It's charging. It starts this software, and now it's my dash. And from here I can see everything that I need for the engine. I mean, the outside temperature minus 5.8 degrees Celsius at the moment. It shows that the coolant temperature is minus 40. That's a mistake. Naturally, it's not that cold. And you can also control this. You can customize this dash also however you like clicking here changes the view. You can see the battery voltage, and the reason why you're seeing all these stupid numbers here is because this actually isn't connected actually to my ECU. My ECU is connected to my phone, but from my phone, which also, by the way, what a cool background. From my phone I can show you, there's the real dash. I can show you how it basically works. So like you can see, I can use my phone as a dash or a tablet, and I'm gonna hard mount this tablet to here at some point. Well, I'll just put my phone here somewhere around here. I'll naturally have to hard mount. I'll make a 3D printed bracket for this tablet, but at the moment you can see all the relevant information from my phone. And if we start the car, you can see that the RPM starts to rise, as so. The throttle is in the lower part of this whole thing. So if I press the throttle like so, there's the intake manifold pressure 0.6 bar negative. 31 degrees Celsius is my coolant temperature. The intake air temperature is 34 degrees Celsius, and so on. And you can see the same information from the I'll just turn this off. You can see the same information from the laptop. Here are all sorts of tables, like the ignition table. Here is, it doesn't tell you anything quite yet, don't worry. Fueling tables and idle control thingies. Like now it's set up to 1000 RPM on idle. I don't want it to be that high actually, but I can adjust it here. I can adjust my rev limiter and everything. And one cool feature that I'm not a pro with these systems quite yet. I have very limited information about these softwares, how to handle all sorts of stuff. But one cool feature that I already found was this ignition angle lock. So here, ignition angle lock. If I press this, the engine is stuck at the ignition angle that I tell it to. I can show you in practice how it works. So let's start the car. Like so. And now from our basic view log window, you can see that the ignition angle is around 30.5. Focus. Ignition angle though shows 30.5. So if I want to set it up for checking that the ignition timing thingy is like the cam position sensor or something is in correct position, I just go to my triggers side, and from the ignition angle lock I click this on, and you can hear the engine sound different because it changes the ignition angle. There, it's at 0 now. So but if I want to change it to say 15, you can hear it change now also, and we can go to the logs and see that the ignition angle is exactly 15. It doesn't change even if I rev the engine. It's constantly at 15. And now I can check it with the ignition timing light from the crank that it's set at 15. And when I take this off, the engine returns to its normal state. And like I said, there are thousands of different functions you can build on this engine control unit, and you can control anything from here. So this is a very interesting new world for me, the customized ECU systems. I was wondering very long time which ECU I should pick, because there are a bunch of different ECUs like Motec, Max ECU, Link, all very good systems. And usually when car enthusiasts decide that they want to pick some ECU system that they use for the rest of their lives, they usually pick one and then they stick to it. I've never seen a car enthusiast in my life who has all sorts of different kind of engine management systems, and he kind of knows everything about everything, every single one of those. It's usually like this: you pick one and you stick to it. And I picked ECU Master because I've seen quite a lot of people who I respect very much use it. Many of my friends who I also respect very much with their knowledge and in the drifting scene, they use ECU Master. I'd say I have at least 5 friends who also have like, well, I think they all have JZ engines, but with the JZ engine they give nothing but good feedback from the ECU Master system. Another one that I was looking forward was Max ECU, but I don't know why. I just picked this ECU Master, and yeah. Now, when I was talking about all the extra functions on the ECU Master, like the flex fuel and boost control and everything like that, they don't come with the ECU. You naturally have to buy boost control solenoids and all sorts of different kind of sensors to the ECU so that it knows what it's doing. And now I still need to install to my ECU this kind of sensor, and this is an intake air temperature sensor, so I need to hook this somewhere to my boost pipes and then control it, I mean connect it to my ECU naturally. And then all Nissan engines from this era have this, I can show you. All older Nissans, all Nissan RB engines have this system that they don't have a crank timing sensor. So the engine control unit doesn't know where the crank is going. It only knows the exhaust cam. So there's the cam position sensor, and this device is only thing that gives the ECU any kind of information where the engine is at rotating. And this basically what's inside of here is a stupid plate that rotates, and the plate has these slots or holes, and then it has a LED light there and an optical sensor, and once it sees that the LED blinks through those holes, it knows in a different order where the engine is at rotating. And it's a very complicated, very stupid system. I hate it. And I'm gonna replace it with another one with a much more simple and much more reliable system from Bosch. This is a Bosch unit, and it's a system that this plate and this kind of modern cam angle sensor replaces the whole system, and there needs to be just this kind of ring installed to the head of the cam, and this is what the engine reads after that. And it's much more safe system, it's much more reliable. And this whole system with the intake air temperature sensor and the cam position sensor with the Bosch unit like this one brings the whole engine to the 21st century. By the way, check out this Honda. Ooh, she's bad. Anyway, so during the winter I need to put all of that together. So it means engine electronics need to be in tip-top condition. I need to build everything ready for the dyno session before the summer. And then I need to change all of my coolant pipes on this car. Well, everything said and done should be one day job to finish all those. So, but if I'm doing videos about it, it's gonna be 1 month. But anyway, that's it for today. Very exciting things to come, like the ECU, everything connected to that. I need to change all the particles and build the engine once again to match the control system. And then I need to fix this old lady so that I can run this finally next year, next summer. And naturally, once I got the ECU master control system to this car and this engine, I'm gonna install the same kind of system to this car later. But so far this engine is just fine with its own ECU. The ECU is not a problem with this car, but I want to get all the same functions to this car, and same kind of dash and everything, so that they kind of match each other. And I want to build all the launch control systems and anti-lags and that kind of stuff to this car also, and that car. But maybe not this winter when I get the ECU master for this car, because it's completely not necessary. But for this car it was about time. It was about time, so yeah. Also, I need to do something about the bucket seats during the winter. These are not very good seats. I bought these as a test, and this is the Sparko seat on this side. The Sprint is much better than the OMP on this side. It's much more, the OMP seat is much more like professional, and it was much more valuable also, much more expensive, but I don't really like it. It's not comfortable. It wasn't very good for me on the track. But all good things coming during the winter. So it's gonna be interesting to build all this kind of stuff, and yeah, thank you for watching, and see you.